Before we begin, the Differently Brained team wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands on which we record, edit, and stream this podcast. We pay our respects to all First Nations peoples and their elders, past, present, and future. We extend our respect to all First Nations cultures and recognise their ongoing connection to the lands, waterways, and communities.
Just a reminder that Differently Brained shares conversations about mental health and neurodivergence. Sometimes these topics can get a bit heavy, so please remember to check in with yourself before listening. And as always, please reach out for help if our chats have brought anything up for you. Now on with the show.
There are no songs in the world that I know about July. Why aren't there any songs in the world that are good about July? Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a July song. Tell me why.
Sonny, you done?
Yep.
That was amazing. Perfect. Everything I wanted. Honestly, the fact I didn't even think about rhyming with July or anything. Mwah. Honestly, I feel like the songs that open our community episodes and our other episodes really capture who we are.
Yes.
And who we are is Differently Brained. So welcome to another episode, the podcast where no brain is the same. I'm Jacinta Dietrich.
And I'm from the Backstreet Boys, and my name is Lachlan Rutherford.
Amazing. If you were an actual Backstreet boy, if you will, and you couldn't be you, which one would you be?
Hey, did you know that I don't know any of them?
I expected you to at least know one and then
Nick
say,
Carter one of
there
them?
we go,
There
yeah.
you go.
Nice.
He is the Backstreet Boy.
Do you remember that time I gave myself that haircut and I looked like Nick Carter? It was amazing.
Yes.
Maybe I'll put a photo in the Facebook because, I'm not embarrassed about it. It was hilarious. It was like a Nick Carter meets Lord Farquaad look. We'll do an episode on why I cut my hair at some point. But yeah, if you guys want to see that, go join the Facebook group because I'm not putting that like everywhere, but I will give that to you guys. Anyway, it is our July community episode. We're a bit late because we've been busy.
Yeah.
Lachlan, what have we been doing?
Oh, so many things. We've been to Geelong for a book launch of Hayley Scrivener's book, Girl Falling, which that episode will be out by the time this one is, correct?
It'll either be out or it'll be about to be out.
Yeah.
So, go looking for it.
We've been hitting the big city, doing some content, capital C content for the people. We got to go to a really fancy lunch a couple of days ago.
The fanciest lunch we will
ever have.
And probably the only time that we will ever be invited back. The beautiful Sharesies, who I've done a few bits and pieces with behind the scenes on investing and, being an autistic ADHDer and how I, need the app to run to be able to look. I've given them feedback and stuff before. Mm-hmm. I did an investor story with them ages ago. And they delightfully reached out to us and said, hey, do you want to come and meet one of our 3 co-founder, co-CEOs and Victoria Devine? And I was like, absolutely. And they're like, do you want to bring someone? I was like, well, Lachlan's here for a lunch. And we were like, oh, cool. We'll just, pop in. It'll be awesome. It'll be like, I don't know, an hour. We'll get just like a normal, probably just a burger or something. They'll
How wrong we were.
Baby. What did we do? Where'd we go?
We went to a place called Hazel, and I don't know if the listeners know what that is. I certainly didn't until the other day. It's just some bloody fancy restaurant where we got 5 courses. Well, we actually got 4. We couldn't stay for the 5th course of things like little crab. What were they?
Crab hash?
Crab hash.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. There was steak tartare. Never had that before.
Well, you have now.
I have now.
Thanks,
and
Jerseys.
I can tell you, it's a bit bloody good.
Ooh.
Pork belly, some beautiful salads, and some appetizers. You had a gimlet.
Oh, I did. And, obviously we held ourselves with the appropriate decorum for the situation. We didn't look incredibly out of place and lost. And we weren't shocked every single time someone filled our glass with water or
Not at all. Or open the door for us.
Correct.
Or took my coat.
Yep. We were super cool, super chill, and just really, really fit in. But thank you again, Sharesies. Not sponsored, just good, just a delightful thing that we got to go to, which was lovely. And then what else have we done? We hung out with my mum.
We hung out with
Mama P.
Mama P.
Shout out to Mama P.
And went to a place called Sensory Kingdom in Geelong, in Belmont, I believe it was.
Oh, getting specific.
Yes. I know, I'm starting to remember the names of things now.
I don't remember any of the Geelong stuff. Like, if it's pretty well in Geelong, it's in Geelong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Much is the same way as
Incorrect.
St Kilda's in the city.
No, not in the same way. No. You got to get to like Port Arlington or Ocean Grove before I'm like, you're outside Geelong.
It's pronounced Portalington.
Portalington. And then even still, like if it's someone who doesn't know the area, I'll still just clump all of those little other side towns into Geelong and just tell people my mum lives there, my family lives there, what of it. But no, Sensory Kingdom was delightful.
It's pretty cool.
We went in and being the very bold individuals that we are, we let my mum walk in first and explain to lovely Dean that we do a podcast and we would like to run around his shop touching all his shit and taking videos. And he was so accommodating. Yeah. He was like, go for it, live your best life. So we did. And then he pulled extra things out for us. Like he had just a tub of all the open squishy things so that we could actually feel the ones that were like full packeted. He was opening new stock while we were there. So if you're in Geelong and you're looking for sensory items, you're looking for just fun stuff, to be honest, go check it out because Dean and the team are absolutely lovely, so nice, so helpful. Again, not sponsored, just good shit.
Yeah.
Just super lovely. So we're actually doing our special order today because you can do NDIS orders just straight through their website now. You just pop it in, pop your number in, pop your plan manager email invoicey thing in, boom, you're done.
What a world.
What a world. So we have had, that is just in the last week, all of that. We've had a time. I got the joy of seeing, introducing my mum and sister and grandma actually to Hayley Scrivener and then having the joyous moment of watching my mum try to figure out when best-selling award-winning novelist Hayley Scrivener says to my mum, I've listened to your podcast episode and just watching my mum have no fucking clue what to say because Hayley's isn't out yet. So she couldn't say, I've listened to yours too. She just like stood there like, it was amazing. It's very rare that I see my mum lost for words or unsure what to do. And so to have her be like, okay, amazing, so good.
Yes. But yeah, it's been an incredibly busy and enjoyable week, tiring week to be sure. Month, yeah. But, a good one overall, really. We've been doing some podcast stuff like making a bit of content and editing and, behind the scenes stuff really. But I don't know, has it been good for you, mate? Have you enjoyed July?
I've had a great time in July. I don't even remember what happened at the start of July anymore, honestly, because things just took off, went crazy. I've started my PhD proper, so that's been really fun. I have weekly meetings with my supervisors and I just love them so much. I've been so lucky with the team that I've got behind me and I just love just being a nerd and just like reading journal articles and things like that. I'm like, so I'm having a great time. Everyone keeps being like, it's going to get so hard. And I'm like, yeah, it will. But right now,
enjoy it now.
It's a hoot.
Yeah.
So that's been fun. I'm just digging through, being like, oh, maybe I'll get to interview some authors through my PhD. Who do I want? Building spreadsheets. Love me a spreadsheet. We've had you visiting. That's been delightful.
Oh, thanks.
You bring the mutual friends to my house. So that's also been nice. It's been a good one. It's been quality stuff. How are you feeling about your word of the year? Are you recalibrating?
Yeah, I think I have. I've been actually kind of a bit more conscious of it actually.
I feel a lot of recalibration coming from your direction this month, yes.
Yeah. Like I don't know, because last time in the last community episode, or no, not even the community episode, the one where it was all about me.
Yeah.
I mentioned that I wasn't quite taking much notice of whether I was recalibrating or not. And I have been making the effort to like pay attention to that lately. And I'm pretty sure I have. I'm fairly certain I have. I've done some things like I've got the public transport system mostly down pat now.
It's true. You do.
I am not feeling like an anxious mess all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Met some cool people. I feel comfortable. And I feel as though there's a lot of things that I've been doing. I still okay, so full disclosure, everyone, today we had to ask a gentleman at the library to let us into this studio. And Jacinta's normally the one that always does it. And she made me do it today. And I'm an anxious man. I don't like talking to strangers very much.
Just to be clear, like, yes, I made you do it. But like we're on pretty even footing, I'd say, with the anxiety.
Sure.
So I didn't throw you under the bus and I'm like, oh, everything's fine. I'm just making sure we're a fair team.
Yeah.
I'm not cruel.
No, she didn't. She didn't like stand at the door, like the steps to the library and say, off you go.
No.
Go and go and
like
talk
we
to
both
people.
hate talking to the people. It's
Yeah.
not like every time I'm like, oh, I love doing this, but I'll make Lachlan do it.
But the fact of the matter is this time I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just little things like that where I know it's nothing to really brag about, but there's just little things that I can do and have done where I'm like, oh, good on. I haven't done that before.
Yeah.
I haven't really done that before, and that's me kind of reaching back into the recesses of when I was a less anxious person, maybe, and pulling some stuff forward and going and recalibrating. I guess being a more rounded person. I guess.
Woohoo! Good on you, mate. Proud of you.
Thank you. Thanks, Melbourne. Thanks, the city of Melbourne. And
Living in my house. Thank me.
thank you, Jacinta
And
and Lucas
father.
and Siri.
Oh, yeah. Lachlan refers to Lucas and I as mother and father, which is not unusual for our group of friends, actually. Last night, Lucas asked, why do we keep accruing children, specifically ones generally older than us? Which I don't know, as a couple who has no interest in having their own children, it is interesting that we somehow have adopted a bunch of you.
Yep.
Yep.
Is Lucas implying that I'm a child?
Yeah, but first you'd called us mother and father
That's
earlier
true.
that day. So, yeah, I think you did it first.
I called out and asked if Lucas could read me a bedtime story
It was beautiful. It's beautiful. Made me so happy.
Yeah. How about your building, mate? I know that you've spoken about doing the PhD stuff, but I'm talking specifically about your word. Have you been building?
I think so. I don't know. It feels like this has been such a weird year because it started, honestly, pretty grim.
Yeah.
I had no clue what I was going to do. I'd been made redundant. I was plowing through my savings. I didn't want to go back to a full-time office job and I had just absolutely no clue where everything was going and everything like that. I'd say my mental health was really struggling. My chronic fatigue was really bad. Just everything was at the start of the year was so hard that it's just so surprising to me that it's been, well, I guess, we're in August now, technically. So it's been 8 months. I keep thinking like, oh, it's only been 6 months kind of thing. But like still within 8 months, things have changed so dramatically. And I think it's nice to sit with that and look at it because it was a much faster gratification of all the building I did at the start of the year that I didn't expect to see come through at this point. So I knew that there was going to be so many applications and so many things that I was going to need to do, but I also assumed I wouldn't get a bunch of them. That is how, industries work, the arts industry, it's very competitive, it's incredibly underfunded, and it's so hard sometimes to just get your foot in the door. And I think I've been so lucky where I know that personally I've been doing those applications and things like that, and that is me building. But I am also acutely aware, I think specifically this month, of how much building other people have done for me. So, obviously I had a bunch of letters of support for my Creative Australia application, I had so much support from my supervisors in applying for the PhD and the scholarship that I ended up getting. I've just been so supported by you in keeping the podcast going, and by Lucas in keeping the house going, and by my mum and my family. Well, my family generally, but mum specifically in terms of applying for the NDIS and getting that help. And I think I'd looked at building as a purely me thing.
Yep.
But I'm so aware this month particularly of the community around me that's been supporting me. It was just such a fun and weird experience over the last 2 days to, do the In Conversation with Hayley at Leopold Library and have me be the person up the front doing the questions and stuff. And then, being able to introduce you to people at that, and then going to Hayley's readings launch in Melbourne as well. And again, being the person who introduces you to a bunch of, Melbourne writers and things like that. And I think the only reason I know a bunch of them is because previous guest Ashley Kalajian Blunt took me under her wing, and she took me to events and stuff when she comes down to Melbourne, and she introduced me to all of those people. And to now be in the position where I can, point to these people and introduce you to them and not feel that fear or imposter syndrome that I had when I first met them, to not even second guess or think about am I in a position where I can be introducing Lachlan to people kind of thing? Are they going to remember who I am? It was just, again, such a lovely reminder of, one, again, looking back, how many people have built the community around me, like Ashley Kalajian Blunt and James Mackenzie Watson, having me on their podcast and then introducing me to all these people, and then those people introducing me to more people, and really getting to that point where everyone's like, oh yeah, Jacinta's just part of the Melbourne writing community. And that's just something that is still, I don't think had fully really clicked in until I was the person introducing someone else. And so, it was, I think, this month I've been, particularly aware of the building that everybody else has also been doing for me, and the amount of support that I've got outside of just myself, because I do have such a wonderful community around me that are constantly putting me up for opportunities and pushing for me to be able to do the things I want to do, and supporting me to get there, and making things happen for me in the background.
Yeah. I put this to you though, and I know you're going to crack the shits probably, but it's not so much that people are doing the building for you, it's that they're building along with you. You've got the blueprints
Well,
there.
no, I said at the start that, this isn't to diminish. I know I'm doing things by myself.
Yeah.
I'm doing the bulk of the application kind of thing, the applications and the work and things like that. I'm aware that I am still building, but you're right. They are building along with me.
Yeah.
But it still feels for me sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Some of these, I didn't do anything beyond be Hayley's friend to be able to have awesome literary events with her kind of thing. That's just Hayley's top shit, and we love it a bits.
Well, I mean, I don't do much other than be your friend, and I get to go and do all of it. I get to go to freaking Hazel and eat.
Which, again, I have no idea how we reached that point. I just talked to, and the thing is, again, so the person who did my investor story at the time, I'm pretty sure she was freelancing for Sharesies, and now she's just one of my normal friends.
Bloody hell.
And it's just I got Bonnie out of that experience, and that's really exciting. And I just, I don't know. I think it just reminded me that in the arts industry, I know that, networking can feel really icky, and, in some other industries it is kind of a dirty word, or it feels, but it's not even that in the arts community down here. It's literally just we're friends.
Yeah.
It's not, you got to know this person to get this kind of thing. You got, we just genuinely like each other. And I didn't understand that from the outside, because I thought it was, it's all about who you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's, kind of a bunch of Nepo baby stuff. I saw it kind of that way, but everyone is genuinely so talented and so lovely. And I hope everyone just is my friend, because I assume we're all friends. It's going to be really weird now if we catch up with everyone and we're not actually friends.
Who
we're
are
just,
you?
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I feel like I just waffled on for ages just about myself. Shall we throw to? We got something a little new this week because I was a busy and didn't realize that I hadn't scheduled ahead. We don't have any community wins as such, wins and losses, brain gains and brain blunders this month. But what we do have is we've been asking our guests to share theirs.
Yes.
So we're going to pop those in here now. You'll hear from Jess Horn, author of Bernie Thinks in Boxes, and Hayley Scrivener, author of Girl Falling.
Well, I was thinking about this and I couldn't think of a single thing before this moment that was sensible. So I'm going to say that a blunder is that I have a generally terrible memory. But a win would be that I got to the end of this podcast interview, which is hugely exciting. And it's a win because I guess having this discussion quite openly is probably another step in owning my identity. So yay me.
Going on a holiday and for the first time in a long time, just disconnecting from my sense of myself as someone who makes things or does things and just being someone who like walks and drinks Bloody Marys and hangs out with people that care about me. That was definitely a win. It was a really special, and it's made me want to like book more holidays in with people and kind of have that experience of who I am around sort of outside this thing that is what I do, if that makes sense. So that was a definite win and something that I want to keep. And also sharing Meatloaf's I Would Do Anything for Love with the world. I think we can heal the world.
Thank you, Hayley, and thank you, Jess, for your brain gains and brain blunders. I had a brain blunder just then.
Nailed it. Oh, didn't even think. What's your brain gain or brain blunder for the month?
Oh, Christ. Okay. Brain gain. Learning the public transport of Melbourne, mostly. That's my brain gain.
It's a good one.
My brain blunder. Oh, there's been a fucking few, let me tell you. This isn't so much a brain blunder as just the Lachlan blunder. Yesterday, as we were traveling back from Geelong, the other day as we were traveling down to Geelong, Jacinta and I took two separate seats because there was plenty of room on the train at the time. And then it started to fill up and all that kind of stuff. I already had my laptop and everything set up. And as the train started to fill up, there were people who wanted seats. And so I thought, okay, I'll move next to where Jacinta is to make it, less awkward and to also to not split, people up. There was a father and daughter who came along and they were going to sit separately. And we were like, no, you two sit together and I'll go over to where Jacinta's sitting. Jacinta didn't have everything set up at the time.
I had...
What?
Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe I didn't even... in my mind, I had my laptop set up, but I probably did. I had two bags, though. Two really full bags.
Yep. No, that's fair. That's fair. I did not have two bags. I had one bag, but I also had a laptop that was out and a phone plugged into the laptop a jacket.
I had my phone out and it was plugged into the portable charger, and in my mind, I think my laptop was out, but I cannot confirm.
I've tried to block it out of my memory and I'm just digging it up now for the audience. But I got my foot caught in my laptop bag and I dropped my headphones on the ground and didn't know that I had lost them until I went looking for them and a guy in front of us had picked them up and put them on the seat in front. What else did I do?
Oh, your keyboard fell down and all your batteries popped out because Lachlan has a laptop, but the keyboard apparently doesn't. I've never asked because I just assumed this is a situation that...
Yeah.
So Lachlan has...
I've got a Bluetooth keyboard because my laptop keyboard got coffee spilt on it.
Which he sits on top of his laptop keyboard, but then the Bluetooth keyboard, the battery backing isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. So if you drop it, the batteries just fucking fly out.
Yep.
Because of course.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And I picked up one of the batteries and went to go and pick up the other. A man stepped on the battery and almost my fingers when I tried to pick it up. And then I managed to settle myself and thought, fuck, where's my phone? Phone was where I was. I just thought that I'd lost it completely. So yeah, that's my blunder. That's my fucking Mr. Bean esque.
Which I think goes back to, we were talking about how you're finding people not quite nice in the city in the big city episode.
Yeah.
Everyone was pretty nice about
Yeah.
that situation.
Yes.
Like,
true.
they smiled at us. They were pretty, like, they were clearly like, these fucking idiots. But, you know, they were all right. Nobody swore at us. Nobody got aggressive. They were just like, all right. It was more of an exasperation than an anger. I'd say that's all right. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah. What about you? What's your...
Oh, fuck.
I want to move away from
Excellent.
this situation now.
I think my gain's going to be harder than my blunder. So we're going to start there. I think my gain is that I did the Hayley Scrivener in conversation and I didn't fuck it up. And we're still friends.
That's a good one.
Like, I clearly didn't embarrass her. If anything, she embarrassed herself more than I did.
Yeah.
So I think that's my gain, that I did what we do here in public in front of, like, there was like 40 people there.
Mm-hmm.
And I only knew like some of them, like my mum, my sister, my grandma, you, Hayley. Okay, it's sounding like a lot, but like,
Out of 50.
yeah,
Not really.
it's pretty good. Had a microphone and everything. Like, not one of these ones that I know how to use, a weird one. So I'd say that's my gain, that I did my first in conversation where I was the questioner and I did not lose friends over it.
Nice.
My blunder is obviously this morning. So we've had a really big week and, like, you know, I've been tired and we got home late last night as well because, you know, what we failed to mention is that after we did Hayley's launch, we rudely jumped from that to the Emerging Writers Festival program launch last night at the Wheeler Centre so I could go and see all my little hot desk friends. And so, you know, we got home late, we'd been busy, it's been a big few days and, you know, we had to be in here at 10:30 this morning. And I had alarms for 8:30, 9 and 9:30 and I didn't wake up to any of them, which I'm normally pretty good with alarms,
Yes.
I thought. But it turns out that I was, one, really tired and two, my brain had kind of just filled them into my subconscious and I was just dreaming about being on a game show and the songs and stuff were just my Apple ringtones. So, and like for some reason, all my alarms, I must have set them at different times when I'm trying to test out like different noises because like if I use the same noise for too long, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So all three of them, I don't know, maybe this is just in the dream, but all three of my alarms this morning, I think, were different tunes.
Oh, different. Okay.
And so like it really worked for the game show system. I was just having this huge dream, like la 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 la, and my brain's like trying to make me dream about podcasting to be like, Jacinta, you need to wake up. So yeah, my alarm for 9:30 was to leave the house. That was, you need to be on a train now, don't forget. And that's when you alerted Lucas, who's working from home, to the fact that I was sleeping through my alarm, which, you know, this is kind of on you guys as well. You let 3 alarms go before you were like, is Jacinta dead? What if I had have died?
We were downstairs where we couldn't hear the alarm. So it's actually completely on you.
Whatever. So yeah, basically then you alerted Lucas. Lucas came and woke me up, like poked me and stuff. I woke up saying, that's my train alarm. And then we rushed out of the house and we got here. So
Yay.
thank you to Lucas for working from home today by accident because you were able to drive us to the train so that we were able to make it here on time so that nobody stole our studio space and we were able to do our interviews and episodes for today. But yeah, that's my blunder that just,
Nice.
yeah, good one. Good one. Oh, also on the way, I like spilt coffee all over myself. I didn't pack my Mikey. Just so many things went wrong. But maybe the other win is I didn't have a meltdown. I was just like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
it is what it is.
Even
And-
Lucas commented.
I know. I handled it all very blasé. I was very cool. I'm a cool gal.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are mine. Now, we have a bit of a, it's not exactly a dilemma this month, just a community question.
Right.
So Kate, I'd say, is probably our number one fan.
She knows the deep lore.
She knows the deep lore. Kate has been my sister's best friend since high school. So she's watched me for many years in the distance. I'd say Kate is now my friend. You know, I don't introduce her as my sister's friend anymore. I introduce her as Kate, my friend, which, you know, quite nice, I'd say.
It
Quite
is.
nice.
It's much better than being told by someone, oh, this is Lachlan Jacinta's friend from up north.
Shout
That's
out,
a whole other
Lucas.
story. Yep.
So Kate messages every single time she listens to the episodes. She basically messages me her live reactions. If you think you're more of a Differently Brained superfan than Kate, hit us up, let us know, because like we want to hear what you're doing. But for now, I'd say Kate and her boyfriend Alex hold dual title of superfan. Kate wants to know, have you had a Melbourne coffee and was it worth the hype?
I had a coffee whilst waiting to chat with my nephew at Melbourne Central. I don't remember the name of the place, but it was like a chain thing.
Oh, so not like a proper Melbourne coffee really
No.
then?
So no, I haven't had a Melbourne coffee this time. I have had one before when I've come down before. There was a cafe in one of the alleyways where there's like really cool graffiti and there's the hanging stuff between the two. You know what I'm talking about? There's like some famous alleyway.
Sure. I don't know. It's Melbourne. There's a lot of alleyways with graffiti.
But this one's like a famous one.
They're all famous, mate.
Anyway.
You know my geography. I can't get around. Lucas will know.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, I had a coffee there and it was very good. And I remember on the, like over the PA, they were playing like this sort of stripped back, soulsy kind of version of I'm So Fancy by Iggy Azalea.
Oh, good one.
It was something else. So, I mean, I don't really remember that, but I think that the hype was probably worth it, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe. When we were at Hazel, the toilets are upstairs. I went upstairs and there was another kitchen upstairs for a
Ooh.
separate restaurant. And it had the most intense and incredible smell of roasting coffee.
Oh.
So based on that, I think maybe just from the smell alone, probably worth it.
So Melbourne coffee is worth the hype and the snobbery is what you're saying. That's your hot take?
Well,
Yes?
maybe not the snobbery, but the hype, yes. Not the snobbery.
Okay.
Let
'Cause
people enjoy things that are bad.
It's true because you're quite the coffee enthusiast, but you're also quite okay with shitty coffee
Yeah.
and other people drinking shitty coffee around you.
I never used to be, though. I think you'll remember.
Oh,
Yes.
a wanker.
Yeah, I used to be quite the wanky boy.
Quite the wanker. Lachlan, as always, who is your dream guest of the month? Who are you trying to 6 degrees of Differently Brained to?
Fucking hell. James Acaster.
Oh, that's a dream. That is a dream get. Absolutely. Yes. Fair enough.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Baby!
Bye-bye. We'll talk about ducks.
Brave little sis boy.
Oh, my God. We would chat so many things. Okay, that's amazing.
Yep.
Again, okay. If anyone has 6 degrees, what is our 6 degrees to James Acaster? Let us know. Get in touch.
Yep, please.
Mine is, thanks for asking.
Yeah, sorry, no, I didn't get a fucking chance to ask Jacinta. Hey, Jacinta, who is your dream guest?
Ooh. Oh, okay. I told you about it on the train and we're waiting for, the right time, but I'm just going to publicly call her out because I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. And she loves it. I want best-selling author of No Hard Feelings and Crushing and fortnightly newspaper columnist Genevieve Novak. I want Genevieve Novak on the show to talk about sad chick lit, messy bitches, ADHD, and just being an absolute icon.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I've heard some stories. I've been told about the sorts of stuff she writes. I am keen for that thing to happen.
Absolutely. For anyone who wants a taster of Genevieve before we get her on, which it's going to happen, she'll be reading some saucy fiction as part of the Emerging Writers Festival program this year, which I'm very excited for because I have attended erotic and romance reading nights with Genevieve and hers are always just excellent. It's just it's a mood changer, I would say, but so relatable and just what a wonderful gal. Again, not sponsored, just this is what's going on in my life. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, what a community episode this has been and what a month this has been.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Let's all take a moment to reflect on the month of July, shall we? Great. Now, Now, you know the drill. We're going to put it at the end of the episode anyway, but get on our freaking Facebook group, you know?
It feels a bit mean to be telling them to get on our Facebook group after not sharing any community gains or blunders this month because I forgot to post. So, normally we would pressure you, but this month I'm like, you have a free pass. Fair enough. I didn't do my job. You don't have to do yours.
That comes from Jacinta, not me. But yeah, look, I hope you all had a nice time in July and looking forward to the month ahead. Guess what happens in August, everyone? Guess what happens? Hey, Jacinta, guess what happens in August?
I'm going to have a hot guess. Is it your birthday?
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It's my fucking birthday.
So everybody, when this comes out, wish Lachlan a very, very happy birthday. It doesn't matter what day of the month it is, just every day across
Birthday
August.
month. Yeah.
Every day across August, send Lachlan a message saying happy birthday because honestly, I think he needs it.
Thank you so much for listening. As always, any resources that we discussed in this episode will be linked in our show notes. Do you want to hang out with us in our lovely growing online community? Then join us in our Facebook group. We share our stories, resources, memes. It's basically just a nice and fun place to be. You can also check out our Instagram at Differently Brained Podcast, as well as mine and Jacinta's own personal accounts. All of our episodes are available to download and listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you find your podcasts.
Differently Brained shares the opinions of individuals and does not consider your personal circumstances. Differently Brained exists purely for information purposes and should not be relied on as health or medical advice. Because no brain is the same, please consult your healthcare professional for your personal medical needs.